Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of a gaming podcast. We have two special guests here with me. I have Parth, who is the one of the co-founders for Thousand Star Studio, and also the game director for Aikyam. And I also have Sally, who is also the other co-founder and also the art director. Well, that's a lot of tasks both of you have for also the game Aikyam as well. How are both of you doing? Parth, I'll start with you.
I'm doing well.
Awesome. And
nice sunny day today.
Awesome. And then Sally, how are you doing?
Same, yeah. I'm enjoying the nice sun that's coming from my window.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my cat decided to join in. She's like, you know what? You're not listening to me. I'm jumping in. So I do apologize for the random cat that just wanted to join in the interview as well, but it makes it a little extra special. So Aikyam is a very special game. I actually saw it, I believe it was PC Games showcase back in December. I think it was, but I know I saw it earlier in the year or late in the year. That's something that really stood out to me. It is a Hollywood-inspired fantasy RPG. Can you any of you would like to explain a little bit more about the game?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, Aikyam is a Bollywood-inspired sort of like turn-based RPG. Like to kind of get people to think about it in a way, it's sort of similar to like Paper Mario, I would say, where but like all the battles are kind of happen more with like Bollywood style, like either action sequences or dance moves. So essentially, you play as there are essentially three main characters that you play as: Vishwa, Guru, and Ramli, and they live in this like beautiful village called Aikyam, where there's some sort of chaos has happened, and it's sort of created rift between the villagers and mistrust between the authorities and the villagers themselves. So you basically you and your party sort of go around and win people over by challenging them to dance battles. And once
I wish a lot of problems could be solved that way. But like, you know what? You make me mad. Let's dance right now.
Yeah. So it's sort of like, you kind of whenever you find like a disgruntled villager, you sort of challenge them to a dance battle, and once you win them over, what ends up happening is they sort of join your cheer party, and then they cheer you on. So every time you get into like different battles, they'll be kind of there in the background. So that's the way sort of the power scaling for the game works, where the more people you help and the more people you're kinder to, the more powerful your heroes become, because they kind of feed off on that energy during the fights and such, in order to like defeat the opponents. So like, as you move out into the overworld, where you'll come across like demons and monsters, then you can still use very much like the same power and kindness of people that's helped you and you've helped along the way to like work together and overcome big challenges.
That is some very major street cred, that's for sure. You're like, man, your moves are so good, I'm joining this guy. That's really awesome. That is such a cool idea. I see like different elements from different games popping in here. Like, so how like complex is, I guess, or like, is it complex, this development has been? Because you are implementing obviously the RPG element of it, but you also have to have, I assume, some form of rhythm as well. And I also saw that you guys had some different puzzles implemented in the game as well, and platforming. How did all that come together, or how is the developing is going?
The development is going relatively well. As far as like the different components of it, we almost wanted to pay homage to like how sort of like Bollywood. When you watch a Bollywood movie, sometimes it's really difficult like putting those movies into a genre. They kind of have a little bit of comedy. They have a little bit of like action, drama, romance, like all of it. So we sort of wanted to keep some essence of that with the way we've sort of thought about the overworld and how the player kind of like interacts with the world. It's a little bit of a mix of a lot of different genres, and we've tried to like balance that as sort of like best as possible to allow the player sort of like freedom to go around and explore the world, and kind of have like more of the traditional sort of like RPG-esque components, where you'll come across a battle and such, but also like essentially when you're kind of going through the game and exploring the puzzles, they'll each kind of have their own unique mechanics that are required, similar to like it'll have some elements of platforming
Mhm.
for sure. But essentially, like the way the player kind of interfaces with the world is through these like dance moves. So you'll kind of, or sorry, dance poses. You'll learn like each a new pose every kind of like in every new area that will
Okay.
mechanic that you have for that area, and then as you go through it, you'll be using that in order to solve the puzzles and in the battles and all that sort of stuff.
And
That's awesome.
That going through like throughout the game, we place a lot of like snippets and elements of India and Bollywood, just to kind of give it like that edge, that over the top, and give people an idea of what the culture is like. Our
Okay.
whole game is mostly about unity, so we incorporate that into our mechanics, ensuring that you're recruiting citizens to help you. It takes a village to actually accomplish a task, and that kind
Absolutely.
of embeds into like everything that we've built in this world.
That's so cool. So are the characters based out of like real life people, real life legends, or anything like that?
I think
There you go.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
can't see you, so it's okay. Go on.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Go ahead, Sally. Yeah, we'll let you take it. How about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. In terms of the characters, they're not necessarily based off of any specifics, but
Okay.
we like through the story though we do have like snippets of ancient like Indian epics such as like the Samudra Manthan to kind of like introduce people to stories that were told in India. Because for me, like growing up in Canada, I've heard a lot of fairy tales. I've heard a lot of like Red
Yeah.
Riding Hood, Three Little Pigs, and all of these other stories, but never anything from India specifically, nor even anything from my own culture. So we're taking this as an experience to introduce people to these epics that they may not have ever heard of before, or if people who do, like, if they do know about it, then it's sort of nostalgic to them. And we're putting it in the eyes of like these three characters. All they have different ages, so we have three characters. We have Rumley, we have Vishva. They're kind of like kids, so we are
Okay.
making it a game tailoring towards children. So having like a voice of around that age group would be very nice. And we also have like Guruji, who is the like the teacher slash father of Vishva, where he's kind of like an older character and an older parent. So you kind of get the balance between like the older generation and the younger generation as well.
Yeah, that's so cool. And would there obviously no spoilers or anything, but would there be like tension between like the youth and like the I guess the new vision from the youth, from like the older vision from the elderly?
There's going to be a little bit of story element that will differentiate the two and kind of give like both sides of the story, because like when you
Okay.
have like a parent trying to take care of their children, they want to
Yeah.
do their best and they try to help them in the best that they can, but sometimes children can't really see that way. So there's going to be a small story element where we try to introduce a little bit of that, but we're mainly focusing on the epics and like trying to show like the types of stories that India can produce and the type of mythologies that they have, to really pay homage to like the culture and to Bollywood, the very over the top style that they have.
Awesome. That sounds really exciting. I can't wait to dive into this. So how big is your guys' studio? Because obviously you guys have multiple roles. You're not only your co-founders, but you're also the game director and art director. How many are at Thousand Star Studio?
We're a pretty small team. We have a lot of contractors. On Aikyam alone, we have about 12 members
Okay.
working on the project. In terms of full-time, we're down to 4. So
Okay.
we definitely have like a lot of external help here.
Yeah. Awesome. And how has here's like the Canadian side of things here, because obviously you want to elevate and help out as many Canadian dev studio, which is why we're doing this lovely interview here, and we're trying to cover as many Canadian made games. It's been hard to like keep track of like, is this Canadian? Like, well, thank you for putting Ontario crates at the end of a trailer. We do appreciate that. How has the Canadian support been though?
Honestly, pretty amazing.
Okay, awesome.
We have a lot of support groups here in Canada, especially in Ontario. So from a funding round, like we do have a lot of government support through the Canadian Media Fund and Ontario Creates. So just having like a community there to kind of talk to people who go through the same process has been very helpful for us. We also have local Toronto game groups that we
Mhm.
go to where we can talk to like different people, different devs, our friends, and being able to participate in different showcases like the one that we've met at, and as well as like XP
Yeah.
Summit. All of these things help us like sort of build our knowledge, and eventually like we are able to get out like this production that we have today. I don't know
Amazing.
if Parth wants to add to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think that about covers it. I think that the support has been just really amazing and overwhelming. I think it's our like in our first production, so
Mhm.
having this much support behind is very it's very helpful, and it's also
Yeah.
like feels very nice that someone like believes in us, right? And
Absolutely.
we can actually take this to the finish line. So yeah, it's been absolutely incredible.
That's awesome. How was the A Expo as well? How was that experience for you, getting like feedback live right there?
That's honestly the best, because a lot of times like user testing is not something that comes by often, especially if we are a small team with minimal QA support. So just having like the audience come in and like we got a lot of people who didn't even know about the expo that came into the expo and checked it out, played the game, and realized that they really liked it. So they were able to give us a lot of feedback on what worked for them, what didn't, and how we can sort of make our game better. And that again, just super helpful in that sense.
Awesome. You guys had a winter winter demo as well. Did you check out any streamers who played out the game? How was that as well?
Parth, you want to dive in?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've sort of gone through like a lot of sort of YouTube streams of people checking out our demos and playing through, and we've definitely we're sitting there with notepads and trying to take notes as to like, oh, I think this worked, I think this didn't work, because it was sort of the first time where such a large group of audience, like in a sort of a non-controlled environment, was sort of enjoying the game, and the feedback was really incredible. I think a lot of folks also sort of reached out to us and told us about like things that they really liked, and aspects that they were having trouble with, which was really, really helpful, and just really awesome to see that people were reacting so sort of positively to the experience. And yeah, I think we took a lot away from it in terms of just like the types of things that needs to get adjusted before the final game comes out and such. And it's just an incredible experience. It's our first time doing it. And
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and what's great about it is like it's their first genuine reaction, so we know that it's like if you see that person and you like we're standing there watching them play, then obviously they're going to try to be a little bit nicer to us, right?
Yeah.
Having this,
so they're in their own element and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. We know it's more genuine, and they're not just trying to be nice to us.
They should still be nice. There's a way to be professionally, critic. Like oh, this didn't work with this, but I'll love to see this. This is a professional way of doing it. But I'm glad you guys got some great feedback on things on that. So when are you hoping for this game to come out? I'm not asking for any exclusive date, but like I know if is it still targeted for 2025?
I think that's what we're sort of hoping for. There's still like a lot of learnings into like just our production process, because this is our first time sort of like going through the entire process.
Absolutely.
So we're hoping near the end of the year, but we'll keep folks updated in case something sort of comes up and we need to push it forward or behind, and how sort of like what ends up working out. But yeah, the support has been great, and yeah, we look forward to people sort of enjoying the entire product once it's done.
Awesome. And for everyone who wants to keep track of the game, where's the best place to do it? Obviously, you go on Steam to wishlist this, because that's the best way to help you guys out as well. And it's also coming on PlayStation and on Xbox Series as well. But what's the best place for everyone to keep updated on the game?
Yep, we have social media, so we're on Blue Sky, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, so those are the best places. We also started a thread recently, so
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And is there anything else you want everyone else to know about the game, or anything you want to announce?
Sorry, can you repeat that for me?
No, anything. Is there anything you guys want to, like, any last thing you wanted to like announce, or anything you want to just mention?
Please wishlist the game. It does help out a lot, actually.
All right,
Just excellent those were.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to Parth and Sally for joining me. I really do appreciate it, and have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.